Bro, as a German, I'm basically forced to watch this one. Elex review, Gothic 2 with guns, urban Berlin simulator. Let's get started.
Hey people, Seth here.
Sup, man?
Once upon a time, Germany committed an act of such contemptible evil
Oh, really?
that the world still remembers them for it. To the shame of a
What?
modern
What did
German
they do?
nation and its people. They asked Piranha Bytes, popular German RPG developer, to make the same game for over 20 years.
Man. Bro, after Gothic 2, it just went downhill, to be honest. It was basically a carbon copy. Yeah, just like he said, it's basically like Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed, man. It's so sad.
For nearly
But yeah.
2 decades, Piranha Bytes has been releasing Gothic 2 under different titles, and the German
Fucking Risen. Like, Risen, I didn't like that game at all. It felt weird. It felt wrong.
population is none the wiser. Oh, it loaded. This looks good. Press any button to
But I actually heard good things about Elex 2, not Elex 1.
continue.
So they have actually improved it.
What a terribly coded
Maybe.
game. Elex is the latest copy of Gothic 2. The story takes place in the world of Magalan, a modernized planet much like ours, which got hit by a comet containing magic crystals called Elex. Most people die
Okay.
off. The lucky ones who survive become mindless mutants tainted by Elex, while the unlucky ones become Germans. The Germans split into 4
Yeah.
different factions.
It is
The
what it
Alps,
is.
who consume Elex to become more and more autistic and thus more powerful. The Berserkers, who are like the German version of Amish people and refuse to use Elex technology, but use Elex to turn into mana, which doesn't count. The Clerics, who are just religious
something
fanatics.
totally different.
And the Outlaws, who are ANCAP as fuck, hate organized government, and hate roads even more. You play as Jax, a man gifted with a unique power. He can jump higher than any
Holy shit. This UI looks fucking disgusting.
white person ever recorded in history. For this reason, the other Albs get jealous of him and shoot down his plane. Then your manlet brother attempts to assassinate you, but can't.
Bro, this looks like scuffed Mass Effect. Do you get what I mean? Like, this is Mass Effect, but weirdly modded and a completely different version, like before the alpha.
aim very well because the gun is designed for adult fingers and not children. So you
That-
survive and fall down the cliff. When you wake up, the Elex is gone from your system and you're forced to experience human emotions for the first time.
What is
such
that?
as anger at the clunky control scheme and confusion at the strange texture popping, delayed or absent sound effects, and porn tier voice acting. Stranded among former enemies, Jax has to forge alliances
Yep.
and build trust with the other factions to find out why his allies tried to kill him, and beat the final antagonist of
I
this
see
game,
nothing wrong.
the combat system. While Jax can jump very high for a Caucasoid, helped even more so by his trusty jetpack, this won't save you from Elix's atrocious
can you get it?
combat. The
Easy.
system is fairly straightforward. Jax attacks through a relentless combination of quick and strong attacks to string combos together.
Bro, it instantly feels pretty clunky. Holy shit. Like, I don't even play it, but just from the looks, man. This is so clunky as such.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
So what could possibly go wrong?
shit.
Everything. Piranha Bytes is a developer that's infamous for designing terrible combat, so don't be surprised. In fact, if you play by the rules set by the developer, you will die.
Yeah.
Instead, you need to do
Bro, in those RPG games, when it's always so hard. Sorry, that was my Discord. Bro, fuck off. I'm gonna mute him. I'm just gonna close Discord. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, what do you wanna say? Fuck, I forgot what I wanna say. Yeah, you need to totally abuse the system in those RPG games. Otherwise, you either dominate this game, or you will get fucked like every single time. There's nothing in between. There's no like true adventure. You either get one-shotted by the enemy or you destroy them with ease. And to find that balance, that is pretty hard. Like, if one RPG game manages to do that, I would be in for it. But no RPG game did that. Not Witcher, no one. It's too hard in my opinion. Like, there are things which are too good to be true. And with one of these mechanics, it's impossible to make it like balanced in a way, so the player still has an adventure and doesn't dominate anything, and the balance between frustration and domination, that's a thing.
do what all sensible people do with Piranha Bytes RPGs.
It's not like Dark Souls difficulty where you truly improve and learn mechanics. No, they have like it's something like in Stalker. There's like this one hit scan unit which one shots you from 100 meters, and you couldn't do nothing about it. Yeah, that's it.
Abuse the system as much as possible. In Gothic 2, probably millions of people
Greatest
fell
game.
for the combat meme.
Greatest
They didn't
game.
know you could just spend a few hundred gold in the first town to buy a scroll to transform
Just for
into
this game, you can be proud to be a German. For once, this game is
a
legendary.
black raptor and rampage through the entire first map, skipping virtually the first 10 levels of bullshit Piranha
Yeah.
Bytes crams down your throat. You need to approach this game in the same way. The stamina bar is a great
Bro, I think when I let's play Gothic 2, like if it's not buggy, I think my PC can handle it with ease. Bro, but I will never play Elixir, bro.
feature
This
and
looks
adds a
disgusting.
lot to the game. There's nothing more satisfying than watching a green bar deplete and replenish in the top left of my screen as I wait for my cerebral palsy-stricken character to accumulate enough energy for his paralyzed muscles to spring into motion. In fact, the stamina bar serves no purpose except to cause you suffering. This
Yeah.
is because only humans have
Nuisance.
stamina. Monsters and wildlife follow no such system and can attack without restriction. Even better, if you're hit while your stamina is recovering, it interrupts the recovery. This leads to a
Bruh.
fun, innovative system built around stun-locking someone into a coma. The combat almost
Nice.
appears to be intentionally designed bad. You couldn't make it any worse unless you tried very hard. Maybe give a character tank controls instead. Oh,
Bro, this is a fantasy game in disguise. Look at this. Like this feels like a fantasy RPG with just a sci-fi texture pack.
and
You
give him
can't
a
tell me
warning
otherwise,
every
man.
time his stamina and health gets low, which will be every few seconds.
Your health is low. Do you have any potions or food?
None of this matters when you play the game the real way it's meant to be played. The way the developers didn't intend. You recruit Durus and suck him off so he aggroes all the monsters. Then, while he's holding their attention and is absolutely immune to damage, you just spam grenades and ranged attacks. Then you cheese through the entire game. And
Yep.
why would I not cheese through the entire game? Why would I not abuse the fact that attacks stunlock enemies by simply running through half of a fucking game map, reaching the cleric base, and buying a flamethrower? Because, fun fact, you need almost no stats to weld the best gun in the game, which can spit out fireballs
Insane.
that stunlock and knock over everything they hit in a wide radius, so you can safely kill anything in the game without them even having the
Holy
chance
shit.
to defend themselves. And why would I not abuse the fact that crafting recipes are broken, when I can go to a trader in the outlaw town and buy infinite amounts of electronic scrap and iron ore, convert these into mental energy reserves, which is magic ammunition used by the clerics, and upgrade these in a 1-to-1 ratio into higher tier copies of mental energy reserves that sell for threefold more.
You make, bro, this is how you make money out of nothing. Like this is the infinite money glitch.
Than the cost
Holy
of
shit.
my base ingredients, leading me to have infinite amounts of money, or
Yep.
Deutschmarks as they're called in game. Germans will likely defend and applaud the game. Germans with names like Jürgen, Hans, and Ahmed will state that there's nothing wrong with the game, and is
Fucking
designed for
Germans.
real hardcore RPG players like themselves. Besides, it reminds them of real
Bro, it was like basically Germany, yeah, some normal people, yeah, they are the fucking Turks, the fucking Nazis, and yeah, that's actually it. And the rest are everyone else. Like this is basically Germany right now. It feels like half Outlanders, Ausländer, like immigrants, and half Germans. It's insane right now.
life Germany, where walking outside in Berlin will result in your immediate stabbing. Thankfully,
That's true. That's true.
for the Germans, you can't quick load in real life.
It's not as bad as in fucking London or like in England in general with the stabbing shit. Like it's not that bad here, I guess. I hope so at least. But yeah, bro, he's a bit too much stuff, man. Germany's nice.
I say you shouldn't trust their opinions. A country whose highest grossing game titles are farming, forklift, and
Bro, this is what I don't understand. Those fucking simulators. Every single time, like, but Germans are fucking delusional with those games. Like, I went to a friend's place like back in there when I was younger, when we were kids, and I saw this farming game, bro. Why are you working in a game? What is wrong with you? And I don't understand it till this day. We are fucking grown-up adults. We are working right now. We're going, getting a higher degree, being a doctor, and they still play this shit. Fucking City Bus Simulator München, Junge. Was ist los mit dir? Are you fucking delusional?
Shouldn't trust their opinions. A country whose highest grossing game titles are farming.
This one. Fucking Farming Simulator. Gabelstapler Simulator. Wer spielt sowas? What is wrong with you?
Forklift and bus driving simulators lack the credibility.
I played it once, and just for the memes, man. It was... I had no fun at all. What is it? Yeah, I just don't get it, man. I don't
judgments on what's good. To the typical German gamer, Arbeit macht frei, and they cannot separate work from leisure. Modern copies of Farming Simulator are electronically linked to real-life driverless farms in Germany, tricking the average German male into supporting the Eurozone economy without pay. The grains produced from...
Bro, fuck Europe. I'm being honest. Germany and France, they are carrying the entire European Union. The rest are just fucking leeches who want fucking money from us. It is the fucking truth. Believe me. Like, the Eastern European countries, they just want to join in to get all the benefits, but they are not enforcing their own rules, which are coming from the EU. They just don't give a fuck. Bro, my dream is to fucking unite the entire European peninsula to be a great... Bro, that sounds fucking wrong. Like, that sounds like I want to become a dictator, man. I'm not going to talk about it, bro. I'm crazy.
Such operations are so cheap and plentiful that the EU can afford to airlift them by the metric ton and drop them directly on sub-Saharan African villages, instantly drowning the native population in a...
Bro, the Age of Empires 1 UI, man. Holy shit, that's so nostalgic. Carthaginian market, the shape of a map. Oh, so nostalgic, man.
A river of wheat. World construction and level design is stellar, and probably the strongest feature of Elex. Every crevice, nook, and cranny has been clearly handcrafted and stuffed with items, gear, and consumables for you to plunder, together with many dangers. The voice acting can be patchy at times with the English dub, but the quests are very well done and offer many solutions to tackle them. The decisions you make influence the opinions and actions of characters, companions, and factions throughout the world, and steer the course of the story toward one of the major groups and their ideology for how Magalan should be run. The companions you bring with you also have their own interactions with NPCs, and their presence alone can change the outcome of missions you're given. Just be aware their AI is garbage. Ray just stood still while I was getting mauled by a horde of animals, and doesn't even intervene in fights unless you've already won. Durus is less garbage because his AI is more aggressive, but is still prone to standing still like a tard, or switching from his melee weapon to his bow in melee range. I didn't have a chance to test out Arx as a companion, since my parents forbid me from playing with skinheads, so I can't comment on his AI. Also, while the graphics are absolutely great, one of the features I appreciated the most was how well the day-night cycles were done, and the lighting differences between them. During evenings in the game, it might even be so damn dark you can't see fucking anything, sort of signaling you to go to bed or camp until visibility improves. But close to the evening is when old lights switch on for different ruined apartment blocks and buildings. Bioluminescent plants provide ambient glow to orient yourself, and the whole game actually takes on a completely different color palette, especially around the different faction encampments.
My fucking eyes.
That's really nice. I think the game can be described as a very solid open-world RPG, if you give it the chance, with some questionable design choices that, if you work around, leaves you with a very enjoyable experience that encourages replayability. With all that said, there's technical issues, bugs, and glitches out the ass for this release. My advice, go wait a few months. Let the people who bought it full price playtest it for you and suffer. Then come back and buy it for a fraction of the price when the product improves. Elex follows the common philosophy in this business. In the gaming industry, the customer is always wrong and deserves to be beaten and robbed in a seedy alleyway. So I give this game a thinking emoji out of 10.
Life is a prison, and we all serve our time.
My experience with Elex can be compared to my recent experience with ordering doner kebab. I was tired and hungry, I had a long shift at the labs. I needed nourishment. The sexually repressed and frustrated woman at the counter took advantage of my weakness,
Please do not deport us. Think of my children.
handing me the
What fuck?
greasiest and sloppiest donor ever conceived. I ate it, devoured it with gusto, and was filled with temporary, short-term bliss. Little did I know.
Yeah, it's quite different at each place. You can't to find a good one. You need to really search for it. It's hard because I think in the bigger cities in Germany, they don't know how to make kebab. It's insane. Like there's some shops which are just pure scam. They're just putting something in. I don't know. They don't even know what it is, I think. And something like a vegetarian doner kebab, man. That's illegal. I think you should be burned for it, for calling it that, a doner. That's not it. It's not kebab. That's fucking bread with fucking a salad and grass and shit. Like, don't call it that, at least. That's denouncing the food, man.
Oh, I was also filled with food poisoning, and the catalyst for the mega shits my ass would experience for the next 3 days. While in pain I thought, who could be responsible for this? Who could condone such atrocities?
Who knows?
I knew it. I knew it. Angela Merkel, you did this. You made me shit my guts out for 3 days straight. You fucking whore.
I love the nation of Germany. Basinger. Bing bing one up woohoo. Stay tuned for more.
That was kind of weird. That was kind of weird, man. Says power is so strong that Piranha Bytes is now making a sequel. Insane.
Remember to like and subscribe for an
Oh,
extra
what was that? Yeah, I guess if you want to see more of this shit, you can leave a like and sub, I guess. And that's actually it. I'm gonna react to more shit. I'm gonna let's play someday if my fucking system works, because OBS is such a garbage as program, man. I don't know, with Fraps everything worked, with any other like, what's it called, recording software, every game works except OBS, and I want to work this shit out. Like, look at this, it doesn't fucking work, man. Just with videos, and this I'm doing reacts, I guess. And yeah, that's actually it. I guess I'll see you next time. Wafer out. Stop recording.